Holy shit, he's uploading again. What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the Bitter Footy YouTube channel. Now let me explain before this video starts. I've been away for a while. I've just been busy at work and uni and all that, and I've honestly just wanted to break as well. I've been, traveling here, there, everywhere. I've been to Brisbane, as you saw on my Instagram story. I've been to Newcastle, this and that. So yeah, I've just been taking a break, and there's hasn't really been much to upload during the off season, so it was just good to get away from everything footy related, just take a break and all that. But we're back on the sort of grind. I don't know how often I'm going to be uploading, but we'll be doing streams and all that, and footy tips and all that. So yeah, but today we are doing the predictions, the 2022 predictions. So yeah, without further ado, let's just get straight into it. Let's kick it off with my grand finalists. Let's go for that for the start of the video. I believe the grand finalists are going to be Melbourne again versus Brisbane at the mighty MCG. So the Melbourne fans will get to see their D's play in a grand final at the MCG. And yeah, I think Brisbane are looking really good. Their midfield's looking really strong. They're holding up well. They've had a lot of seasons now to finally make it into the grand final. So I think this is the season where they'll get it right, where they won't be knocked out in a preliminary final or a semi-final. So yeah, I think this is the season where they'll finally get it right and they'll make it towards the grand final. And I don't think Melbourne are going to go down this season. I think they're just going to continue on in their stride. They'll have a few hiccups on the way, but I eventually think the D's are going to make the granny again, and we'll verse Brisbane. Now the Premiers, let's just go to the Premiers next up, because we know my grand finalists. So I think the winner of that grand final will be the D's. I think the D's are going to go back to back. I think they're going to be hungry to win the grand final in Melbourne this time. Obviously, they did it in Perth last year, so I think they're going to be hungry to do it in front of their home fans. And yeah, I think they'll get the job done over Brisbane. I think it may be a close encounter because, I don't know. I feel like these two teams match each other very well. But yeah, I think it'll be a close grand final, but D's will hold up the cup at the end of the game. Now, let's move on to my top 8. We're doing the top 8 this video in order. So I'm going to start from 8th to 1st, just to build it up a little bit. So an 8th spot, it was so hard to choose. There was about 3 teams running in my mind. It was between the Blues, the Dockers, and the Saints. And I think it's the Blues time. I think this is the year the Blues have to make it. If the Blues aren't making it this year, I feel like they're going to struggle in the future. So I feel like they're going to have that firepower, that drive to get them into the top 8. I don't want to get bullied by Carlton fans, but that's not the reason I'm putting them into the 8. Their midfield is stacked. They've got Cripps, they've got Walsh, they've got Shearer now in the squad. Yeah, so they're looking good, they're looking neat. Paddy Cripps is looking lean as ever. He looks like a possible Brownlow contender. We all know how good Sam Walsh is. Harry Mackay in the forward line should fire up this season, which would be good for the Blues. Obviously, they're going to have a few hiccups, but yeah, I think they'll make it into the top 8, and I think they'll get there in 8th spot. In 7th spot, I think the Giants are going to take up the 7th spot. I think GWS still have a lot to give. I don't think they're going to make it into the top 4. I feel like it's that 5th to 8th range that the Giants will go for. And yeah, I think they're going to finish 7th. And I think the teams that I put in front of them are probably, going to be a little bit better than the Giants. The Giants will have a few hiccups against maybe middle table teams and all that, which will make them finish in 7th spot. In 6th spot, I've got the Cats. They rarely miss finals, but I don't think they're a top 4 contender this season. I think they're only, a 5th to 8th contender. So I'll put them in 6th spot, and I believe Port Adelaide will take up the number 5 spot this season. Don't see them making the 8. I think it's going to be a battle to make. I don't see them making the 4. I think it's going to be a battle for them to make the 4, and I don't think they'll win that battle. So yeah, I'll put them in 5th spot. All right, top 4. This is where the things get spicy. I've put Sydney in the top 4. I really like what they're doing. I really like their midfield, just everywhere on the ground. I really like their setup. I think Franklin should have a good year. Papley should have a good year as well. Yeah, I think Logan McDonald should also have a good year for the Swans up forward. Their midfield, we all know how good the Swans midfield is. It's only getting better with the youngsters connecting with the the sort of older players as well. The youngsters, really shining for the Swans. So I think their midfield is going to be good, and I think they're going to make the top 4 this season. I genuinely do. In third spot, I've got the Western Bulldogs coming in third spot. Yeah, I think it speaks for itself. Their midfield is great. Their forward line is looking good. Aaron Norton hopefully will have a good year for his sake, and yeah, I think the Dogs will finish in third spot. In second spot, I think the Lions will take up second spot. I think they're just going to have a better season than the Dogs, obviously. Yeah, their midfield, I spoke about it before, but their midfield is absolutely packed this season. Obviously going to get back Cam Rayner in the midfield as well, just to even make it more stacked. And I think Zach Bailey's going to have a good year. He started to grow into it last year, so I think he's going to have a good year this season. Zach Bailey, Lachie Neale, we all know how good he is. And yeah, their forward line will look good as well. So, yeah, I think the Lions will get the second spot. And in first spot, I think the D's will get the first spot again like they did last season. Gonna, get the hype of the crowd in Melbourne behind them. Their midfield, we all know how good their midfield is. They've just got everything set really well, the D's, to have, a really good couple of seasons. I don't think they're going to win like flag after flag after flag after flag, but I think, they'll be thereabouts. They'll make a few finals here and there. And yeah, I think they're going to win. I think they're going to come first spot this season. All right, moving on to the medals. We're going to start off with the Rising Star, and I think this one's kind of obvious in my opinion. I think it's going to be Nick Dacos. I think it could be a battle between Nick Dacos and Horn Francis and Logan McDonald. Like I said, the Swans coming in fourth, so I put the Swans in fourth. And if they're going to be a success, Logan McDonald's going to fire up as well, so he could be a sneaky shout. But I think out of the names that I just read, Nick Dacos is probably the one I'd go for. Has the silky skills and all that. So yeah, I think Nick Dacos is going to win the Rising Star. Brownlow Medal. I think it's going to be Clayton Oliver. I feel like he has a lot to give this season. Polled a frig ton of votes last season. And yeah, I think he's going to win the Brownlow Medal this season. He's just a great player to watch. I was going to go Bonds, but, it's the problem with the Dogs that they all steal votes from each other. The Bonds may not have a good game, and someone else may have a good game, so that someone else may get the 3 votes. Ollie Wines could do it, but I feel like this year it's going to be Oliver. He's looking really good. He's looking lean. And yeah, I think it's going to be Clayton Oliver to take the W for the Brownlow. Wooden Spooners. I haven't put Collingwood, I put the Gold Coast Suns. I feel like, it's going to be hard without Ben King up forward. They're going to have to find a few other targets. Obviously, they've got Matt Rowell back in the side, looking good, playing some footy. But yeah, without Ben King, it's going to be really tough for them in the forward line without their main forward player. Their main tall forward, so it's going to be really tough for them. I feel like they're going to, challenge a few teams here and there, but inevitably finish in last spot. And the Coleman Medal, the last one, I'm going to give it, this may be a shock to you guys, but I'm going to give it to Bailey Fridge. I reckon Bailey Fridge could take out the Coleman Medal this season. He had a good end to the season last season. He kicked like 6 or 5 in the grand final as well, which is absolutely insane. He looks like a good forward line player. He really does. He knows where to go. He knows how to take a good overhead mark as well. He's a good kick off the footy. And yeah, I feel like he's a sneaky to win it, so I'm going to put Bailey Fridge to win the Coleman Medal. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Those are my predictions for the 2022 AFL season. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you later. Cheers.